that one up. I'm just going to check the audio settings. They always seem to go down. Okay. Good morning, all of you lovely people. Today's class, we're kind of carrying on with this whole sense of centering the nervous system, resetting in a way, recalibrating our nervous system. It's a really lovely practice to do as we start to ease into spring, just to kind of make sure that we're starting this cycle of the year really and in as good a shape as we can be, really, in the emotional sense, but also in the physical sense. And I think it is true to say that our nervous system is key in how we then perceive ourselves and how we kind of feel and experience well-being in our lives. You think you've got the fight or flight kind of response. And of course, we need some of that sometimes to get us going, to kind of motivate us. And then you have this shut down or freeze kind of sense, you could say, the rabbit in the headlights kind of response, which is equally quite useful and important when kind of in balance or when one's aware of doing that. And then you have the parasympathetic nervous system where you're receptive and you're aware. And most of all, probably, you feel connected to yourselves. It's not like this body is kind of cycling onwards and onwards, as it were, and then somewhere your mind is elsewhere, a bit disconnected from it. Those lovely points where even if you're feeling anger or overwhelm or joy or happiness, whatever happens to be crossing through your life at that point, but you're aware of it and you're connected to yourself. So there's less of that disentanglement, as it were, of mind from the body, and you're experiencing yourself, your life, this moment, experiencing anger, experiencing the joy, experiencing all the different manifold states it's possible to feel on this planet, but connected. So that's really where we're going this morning, a slow flow to keep and nourish that sense of connectivity within ourselves. And we're going to start just bringing the hands up to the crown of the head. You can let your eyes shut here. And just a gentle contact. Don't need to press down too hard on the ground. But feel the warmth and the contact of your hands at the ground. And from the ground, just slowly, mindfully scan down through the body, through the skull and the neck, down through the torso, from chest, the upper abdomen, the lower abdomen, the pelvis, and down into the legs, and the feet. And just sit here for a few more breaths in silence of being. And open your eyes and just slowly start to guide your hands down. No rush. Stay with your hands. And then we'll bring both hands now down to the floor. And again, we'll shut the eyes there. And so you'll then tune in to the contact of your palms to earth. Contact of earth with your body. Feel the earth. What is beneath you? Feel how your body connects to earth. Comes from the earth. It's a part of the earth, not separate. Always at home on earth. You can open your eyes again now, and now just let the hands float up onto the dantian, so lower abdomen, just below the navel. And with your eyes shutting here. No effort. You'll feel the body breathing. Good or bad breath. Just flow of energy within you. Always in flow. Always changing, shifting shapes. Each breath, letting go, letting be. This flow carries you forward. And your eyes opening again. And just bring hands down to the knees. Buddha said, but if there's one thing to remember, is that everything is impermanent. We can't hold on. Thing is in change, flux, as it were. So much tension comes when we kind of forget that and solidify into our thoughts, our different sensations. So just shut the eyes one more time. With your hands on the knees or maybe in the lap. Moment, feel your body. Moment, connection. Your body expresses however it is expressing in this breath. Eyes opening again. And the next out breath will come softly through the mouth. And then our breath back in and out of the nose again. So we're going to start coming up and into standing. And arriving in standing, hands just by the sides of the body. You shift your weight just from one foot slightly, and then to the other. And as you do this, imagine sand, a soft sand, that's being poured through the body, and down and into each leg. And as sand falls down into feet, foot you're leaning on feels as does the neck. And so there's a sense of anchoring your weight. Yeah. And you can then bring both weight back equally into both feet. And so now you're earthing in weight with both soles of the feet and both legs. You are filling up awareness within the body, filling your body with awareness. That acting like an anchor, body to earth. We bend the knees now and dropping down into our seat. Just make sure you're tucking the sit bones underneath you, so they're rolling underneath. Now your knees will move slightly to one direction and your arms will sway to the other side. And you're looking over the shoulder where the hips are swaying. So away from the arms. Now take your arms over to the other side. Your hips just ever so subtly sway out. The opposite side. You'll be looking over the shoulder, away from the arms again. And then we arrive back and into the center line. Take a big in-breath and we'll circle the arms up and overhead. And then you'll catch hold of your right wrist. Your right wrist will come over towards the left. Finding a big stretch through the outer seam of the body. Feel the sand equally down through both legs. So you can allow your breath to flow smoothly in through any sensation, it's intense or not, you may be feeling as you open up this side edge of the body. Right back to your center line and we'll catch hold of the left wrist. And then you'll draw your left wrist over to the right hand side and the hips start to lean to the left. Again, this big side body stretch. And just note when the sensation kind of builds in, if there's any tendency to hold the breath within you. And you can just readjust a little bit. Keep your breath flowing freely within you. Ease into it, another breath or so more. And we'll ride back to the center line. Arms now coming into a V shape, your chest will tilt skywards. Make sure your palms are facing up and your fingers are spread out. And then you can squeeze the shoulder blades together. So your arms will ever so slightly draw back a little bit. Open the chest. Imagine you're holding something in the palm of the hands. So keep the arms active. We'll breathe in and we'll take the hands up. With your palms now facing towards you, we'll breathe out through the mouth as we come down into chair, the arms traveling out behind us. And you arrive in a ski jump, looking forwards, drawing forwards, keeping your belly connected to the spine. See if you can lengthen space between the tops of the shoulders and the ears. Breath in flow. And from here, up and into chair, breathing in. Sink down a little bit lower in your chair. So your legs wake up as you do so. See if you can relax your weight downwards or gaze forward. And we breathe out and swallow dive our way into a forward fold. The hands will slide down the backs of the legs as you arrive. So anchoring your feet, we'll now lift the heels slightly in that forward fold, just a couple of centimetres or millimetres off the mat. So you'll feel the weight move forwards to the balls of the feet. And then you'll root down your heels and you'll lift your toes up. Fold a little bit deeper with the toes lifting. And then drop the toes down to the mat. Let the crown of the head travel down towards the mat. And then breathe in and starting to roll up the spine from the lowest vertebrae, start to lift up. Feel your feet beneath you as you draw up through the body, your palms connecting. The weight anchored in both soles of the feet, and sand again flowing downwards through both legs to anchor you to the earth, gazing forwards. Breathe in, and with the out breath, we'll swallow dive down again and into a forward fold. You may want to turn your feet now so you're facing the short edge of your mat. And once you're there, we'll offer the spine forwards. That can just be off the mat here or on the legs, or just in alignment with the tops of the toes. Breathe in. And see if you can lengthen out the space between the shoulders and the ears. Breathe out and fold. Breathe in and lengthen out the spine again in an L shape. Keep a little soft bend through the knees as you do this. You're not locking your knees. Breathe out and fold. Let's do that one more time. Offering the spine. Let's have time and space to create space. And a full in-breath. And another forward fold. We'll look forwards off of the spine again. And then our hands will come down to the mat. And from here we'll step back and into down dog. And looking underneath your left armpit as you bend your right knee, you'll root down into your left heel here. Feel sand anchoring both hands. And whatever part of the feet are in contact with the mat. Find your way to the other side, so the left knee is bending. And your right foot becomes the anchor. So you look underneath the right armpit. Check in with the quality of your breath. Both heels lifting. And just looking forwards up towards the hands. We're slowly, holding the awareness, roll both knees down to the mat. And landing on all fours, you'll come back to your heels. Slide your hands in a little bit if you need to. The next breath, we come up onto our fingertips and look forwards, down the length of that. Then our hands can slide down to the floor, and we'll slide them forward a fraction to give ourselves space to come forwards and onto the belly. Arms will come either sides of the body. Now your feet will anchor here. The hands will also anchor down to the mat. And we're just taking a breath to find a little bit of lift up and into the chest. Gaze soft here. And then you'll lower down onto the floor and you'll turn your heels out to either side of the body. Rotating your feet so they're parallel again with the long edges of the mat. And lifting up your arms this time, as well as the chest. Keep your feet anchored. And then this time, as you lower down, you'll bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Just enjoy turning your heels out to either side there. Get that release through the lower spine. Then bring the feet so they're parallel again. And with the in-breath, we peel into a baby cobra. We come back down again to mat. Another baby cobra. And from here, either coming to all fours or tucking the toes under, press down into the arms to lift up, and then back into down dog. And we all find that little bend through the knees in the down dog. Let the sand pour down the legs and pour down the spine to arms and hands. Breathe in, look forwards, and we'll step the feet up towards the top of the mat. We're off the spine, and then we fold. We're coming up to rise now, rooting down to both feet, arms above the head. Now just pause there with the hands above the head. As you breathe out, hands will come to the heart and the right knee will lift up towards the chest. So you're drawing the two together. Let's allow for a moment to find a balance point with the eyes. Draw up and into that right knee. With the hands at the heart and see if you can circle the right knee out to the right. And come back around. And then up again. The right foot can touch the floor at any point you want in this circle, or else you can keep it lifted. Connecting to your body, your third circle. And we then anchor the right foot back down to the floor. Keep looking forwards and just feel the connection of feet to earth. Another in-breath. Keep the gaze forward as you bring the arms up and overhead. We pause here. Let's feel that sense of falling sand again through down and through both legs. Then when you're ready to, as the arms come down, this time the left knee will lift up. So they're both meeting up somewhere in the torso. Yourself a breath there, so just explore the balance, how it feels to draw the left knee that fraction higher, gaze steady, and then left knee can circle out to the side. Again, come down to the floor if you'd like, in between rounds. You're just continuing your circle 2 or 3 times. Note where your breath is through this. Does it tend to freeze? You know, when there's concentration or maybe when there's a particular sensation. Pause then, left knee lifting, and then with the gaze still forward, we're anchoring it back to the mat. A bit of sway now from side to side through the hips. And just note how the rest of the body follows that sway. Don't have to accentuate this at all. You're just letting your awareness open in a sense to piece together all of the body, rather than just focusing on any one part. You just kind of sense there, feel pelvis is connected to the spine and to the skull, and they're all working together. And it doesn't always feel like that. Back to the center line, that little bend through the knees, the hands slightly off the chest. And as you take the hands to the left-hand side, the gaze will turn out to the right. So your weight is leaning towards the right, so your knees aren't following the hands to the left. Come back to the center line. This time the hips sway to the left, the gaze comes to the left, and the hands will travel to the right. In your own time, do 1 breath or so on each side. Hands to the left, gaze over to the right. And we come to the opposite side. Arriving back now at the center line, hands at the heart. Just touch your thumbs into the heart, right in the center of the sternum. Your eyes shut there, reflect and breathe in. And then we'll open the hands, sinking down into chair. Breathing in, arms will flow up, palms connect. Out breath, we'll start to forward fold, finding your way down however you'd like to. Your in breath, find length between shoulders and the neck and the ears. Breathe in and offer the spine. Breathe out, the hands will come down. And we'll step back into a high plank. Of course, do use the variation of dropping knees to the mat during that. Just let your eyes shut for a moment. And just note the quality of the breath. And just let yourself follow the breath within the body. In breath, the knees will drop down. And out breath, we're traveling back to the heels. We come up onto the fingertips as we come towards the heels and look forwards. The hands will plant down and the spine will start to move forwards. And so we're all aligned onto the belly. This time we're coming into a full locust, hands coming out behind you, arms facing up. Feet will lift Chest will lift and the legs will lift. Balance the lift in each part of the body. The breath flows steady. And then hands underneath the shoulders, feet coming down. In breath, we peel up the spine. And you're either pushing your way up into down dog or coming to all fours. And we're all arrived back into down dog. Looking out past your knees. Deep out breath through the mouth. Step your left foot forward a little bit if you need to. Right leg will stretch up. We bend the right knee. Going to swing the right knee through between the hands. So do stand up if you prefer to get up and into a high lunge kind of position. Then we anchor the back foot down. So just check in with the alignment. Your right foot is more or less in alignment with the back arch of that foot, the left foot behind you. Hips facing forward. Anchor down your back foot and swing the arms out behind you as you lift up. Now see if you can lower your center of gravity, dropping the pelvis down a little bit more. Lunge through the front leg, in breath, arms will float up. Giving ourselves a breath or so in Warrior One here, the gaze is forward. Feet are anchoring you and you're pouring sand from the pelvis down through both legs and into both feet. As you anchor your feet, we'll see if there's any more lift we have. Up through the spine, arms drawing back, thick opening up into the chest. Keep the sand flowing as you transfer through and into Warrior Two. Arms out to either side. And then we'll see if we can create more space between the tops of the shoulders and the ears. You notice there, often they do tend to hunch up the shoulders, so we can drop them that little bit lower. We'll keep the gaze down the front arm. We'll even bring this right hand in, and then we'll watch the tips of the fingers as they travel out. Your sand anchoring both legs. With that. And take the hands now to the center line, coming into eagle arms. Right arm is underneath the left. You can either bring the backs of the palms together or just rotate them around so the palms connect. Take your elbows out away from the body. Start to rotate to face the front leg. Breathe in. And we're now slowly going to find our way down, bowing down towards the front foot. Your right shoulder may tuck just inside the crook of the right knee. Hold the eagle arms. Keep your breath steady. Keep the sand down through both legs. And then right hand will come to the inner edge of the front foot. We're opening out into Trikonasana, so the front leg straightens. Left arm lifts skywards. Now you may have a bit of bend through that front knee. I'll just show you that. So you're looking to draw up and back into the pelvis. It's like the pelvis is moving that direction, back behind you. You can look down, or from looking down, you can take the skull upwards, the gaze upwards, pardon me. Another in-breath, bend front knee. We'll swing this left hand down now. So both hands are more or less in alignment with the front foot. Now plant your right hand a bit further forward than the front foot, up towards the top corner. top right hand corner of the mat. Use this left hand if you need to kind of act as a bit of a prop. We're going to bring weight into the front leg, breathe in, lift up, adjust your right leg, flex that left foot, left arm can be down, or you may find you can lift it up. Now steady the lines through the body. The sand is really fully pouring down this right leg. As we come into half moon, a breath or so. Keep your breath as steady as you can. Just one more breath. And then left hand will come down. Both hands now framing more or less the front foot, or just a little bit in front. And you're in half standing splits. Fold down the front leg. We'll now step the left foot back. Big step back. Adjust the hands so they're in alignment with the front foot. And we'll step the right foot. Stretch it up. And then let it float down to the mat. Both feet on the floor into down dog. Breathe in. We'll lower both knees down to the floor and we're right into child. Drawing back towards the pelvis. Soft bowing of the forehead to the mat, to the left. And then we're looking forwards and we're starting to slide the body forwards to arrive into our cobra. Onto the belly, breathing our way into cobra. The out breath, we start to push up into all fours or else straight up through plank and into down dog. And we're just arriving in down dog while I just swivel around so I'll be able to chat to you on this side. And this time we're going to be lifting the left foot. It does help to just step that right foot a fraction in. It gives you a bit more kind of leverage to then bring that left foot through between the hands. Or you can stand up and then adjust the feet to find your positioning. So left foot between the hands and the right foot now anchors down to the mat. So just a moment to pour the sand equally into both feet. Particularly, it's really important to anchor this back foot. That's like your stability point, as it were. So you want it to be earthed as much as you can. Breathe in, start to roll your way up. The hands will come out behind you. You may need to adjust your feet a little bit back. In breath. Hands will float up. Keep the sand pouring down into both legs equally. Keep the gaze out in front of you. Then we just got these few breaths as we earth to see if there's any more lift up and into our spine. That helps to energize the body, get the energy rising up from earth into the heart, the mind. Your breath flowing here. You'll probably have tendencies and things are a bit intense to hold the breath. Exactly when we really want to nourish ourselves with a full breath. Going to transition into warrior two. The gaze is still in front of us, out to the left. Arms will open. And we drop the shoulders down here. So as much space as we can find between the shoulders and the ears. This left hand is going to draw up towards the body. And then we're going to just focus in on the left fingertips as they travel out again back to our warrior two. Sensation will rise up in the legs. It's quite strength building, all of this. So you want to keep pouring sand down to earth that sensation. Start to bring the hands back to its center point. And we're coming into the eagle arms again. This time the left arm is underneath, right arm on top. Back so the hands can come together. Or you may be able to just rotate them down so palms connect. Squeeze your elbows out and away from the body. Stand in both legs as you rotate around, face the front leg. Breathe out. Start to bow down. Eagle arms. You may be able to tuck that left shoulder into the inner edge of the left knee. Praying warrior. Hold the breath. By which I mean to say, don't hold the breath, keep it flowing. But keep the pattern of the breath as steady as you can. Holding that pattern of breath. We'll start to open out into Trikonasana. The left hand will come down to the inner edge of the mat, and you'll start to lift up through that left leg. Right arm will lift up. We'll all start to look down at the front hand, and then we'll rotate up towards the upper hand. With your next breath, start to circle this right hand down. Now here we're going to come into our stance for half moon. So left hand reaches up to the top left corner of the mat. You can use this right hand here to help the transition forward. Weight down into the left foot so the sand is pouring down. Breathe in, and the right leg will lift up. You'll flex the right foot. Right arm can come down to the floor, or you may find you're happy to lift it up and into half moon. Strong lines here. Sand is pouring down that left leg. Whoops. Bit of an overbalance. And now we're going to bring the right hand down. Both hands to the floor now. And we're coming into the half splits, folding down the left leg. Keep the weight still traveling down that left foot. Full breaths. Hands to the mat. And slowly lowering that left foot down behind you. Keep the connection. Left leg lifting out behind you. And left foot will come down to the floor. Adjust your stance in down dog. Equal weight down hands and into the feet. Let your eyes shut here for a moment. Yourself feel held, feel carried by the body's weight. In breath, both knees come down to the mat. And coming back to the heels here, into kind of standing, sitting seat, we then take the knees wide as you can. And we come into a wide leg child, the hands then sliding forwards. Start to walk your hands now over in front of your right leg. So you're now in a twisted child, folding down and over that right leg. And then start to find your way over to the left-hand side, walking the hands round. And now you're folding down the length of the left leg. And we all come back into the center line here. Picking your knees together, we'll slide the hands forward and we'll arrive on the forearms. And then from there, we'll take the legs back and you're arriving into Sphinx. So your shoulders are underneath, above the elbows. And there's often a tendency here, the chest will want to collapse. So we're looking to peel up and open up into the chest. So our gaze is forward here. Let the body feel free, be free to express itself. And just holding the steady rhythm of the breath. Energy flows within you. Lowering down the hands now and the elbows. We bring them underneath the shoulders. An in-breath will see us into Cobra. And from Cobra, we all find our way up and onto all fours. So we're leveling our spine here. We're then going to sway hips from side to side. We're just watching the undulation of the spine. So we swing our hips as if they were in a hammock. And just note how the body responds to this sway. You don't have to try to create a shape here. Giving our body space, quite organically express itself here. So when I shut my eyes, I always get this rather lovely image of this sea kelp when it kind of sways in the current underneath the water, the surface of the water. I just feel it's like the spine is wanting to move like that. Find that intuitive rhythm today. What we're really doing is just clearing out all these energy channels, like the piping of the house, to allow our energy to flow more smoothly. We all have blockages here or there in the body. And in the mind, there's areas where we do freeze, as it were, we lock in that energy. It can be quite unfamiliar to allow that to flow because we're not used to it. We're used to holding it within us. All rivers are made up of little drops of water, like these small steps, small shift. And start to release anything that's ready to be released. If we do that, we find greater ease in this art of being. But bring the knees up a little bit closer to the hands now. We're going to lift up and onto the knees. Just give ourselves a moment just to rub into the small of the back here. And then let's find our way now into camel. There's different variations here. And tuck the toes under, brings the heels up a little bit higher towards you. Else you can keep them flat if you're comfortable. You may just want to start just bending back into the spine and using your hands as that support on the lower spine. Can help if there's often a little bit of a fear factor here, but just to look back over one's shoulders at both feet. Can be reassuring just to know they're there. Now, hands can slide down the thighs, or else you may be able to find your way back to maybe one, maybe both back. And with all these back into some sort of a back bend here. Holding the same steady pattern of your breath. When you're ready to, you can lift forwards and back onto all fours. Then you've got a little bit of free time, a bit of free movement here. Ease into your body. Now, that was the first round. We're going to do another round. I'd like you to just think about in this round where your hips are. The hips will probably want to follow your spine. So just how you're moving on your all fours. You kind of find as you go back, the hips want to sway back with you. So we're looking to keep them pushing forwards, hip bones really working forwards. So you're kind of opening up this channel through the legs. If you can get that nice and strong, it just means that the spine is freer, the chest is more open in your back bend. So if you come up again, up into kneeling, hands on the base of the spine, and use it as your starting point to find your way into whatever variation you want to be in here, whether it's toes tucked under, hands on the thighs, hands on the spine, maybe reaching down towards one or both heels. But wherever you end up, now see if you can draw the hips forward. And be quite firm with yourself there. The last breath, really opening out through the front of the body, taking the hips forward, like you're pressing thighs against the wall. And then we'll all come back and we come down and into kneeling and from kneeling into child. They find there's a little bit of discomfort as you arrive in your child. Kind of stretch out opposite muscles to what you've just been using. Let those sensations soften for a moment. And then we all find our way back in front of the voice. So again, this swaying action, undulation of the spine as we sway our hips from side to side. Look at your spine, the torso is like a river. And just weaving an S-like pattern through the air. We'll find our way back to heels and we'll swing the legs out in front of us. Oh my, time's gone quickly today. I wasn't expecting to look up and see that. Okay, just time for a forward fold. We'll stretch up through the arms. You may just want to pick fruit from side to side. Reach up with even arm and toe. Then we'll stretch both hands up and we'll draw them back and into the heart. And hands at the heart, we bow the heart forwards. For the fullness of your breath. And then hands coming to either sides of the body. And as we did earlier, we just feel the contact of the hands on the earth. Feel the earth stretching out all around the body, around your hands. And you're ready to, bending the knees and coming down onto the spine. Once you're right there, you can hug your knees in. You just rock from one side over to the other. Easing out the left spine. But all take a couple of breaths in happy baby here. So either catch hold of the back of the thighs or else the outer edges of the feet. Your knees are wide, the heels, the feet are facing up towards the ceiling. Both feet will come together and down to the mat. And hands will now come to either sides of the body as you stretch out each leg in turn. And you'll let your weight settle here. Stillness of rest. Keeping the connection, mind to body. Feeling connected, noting how the body and mind are expressing themselves. And trusting in this expression, knowing that you can keep connected without reacting, feeling overwhelmed. In the next couple of breaths, just feel how your body, all of the body, is connected to the earth beneath you. And then, from this place, you start to bring some movement back into the body. From here, if you find your way to one side of the body, with a few resting breaths. And then we'll find our way up and into sitting again. So all up in our seat again, and we'll bring the hands down to the lap. Take a moment again to see if you can find some lift through the spine. So you're opening up this area between shoulders and the ears. Put your eyes shut for a moment. And receiving your breath, bring the hands up to the heart into prayer. And at the heart, feeling the boundless possibilities of your life, this mind-body connection, and how much more possibilities there are, meaningful, knowing possibilities there are, when we are connected to our bodies, and the flow of our lives. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, let yourself bow forwards, bowing the head to the heart. And closing your practice. Namaste.